Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back to our KS family. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin currently up 2.76% to 48,210. Ethereum up 1.44% to 3844. I focus on the professional smart money mindset to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, gaining real wealth in the process. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. Just like cryptos, our life can go through pullbacks. If you're going through one at the moment, know that our love and healing thoughts are with you. You're not alone, and the sun will come out again. If you've managed to watch episode 365, you'll know why I put out the masterclass and why I do this show every day, 7 days a week for our wonderful and beautiful community. I put the masterclass together to share my 30 plus years to make and help people to be more of a financial blessing to themselves and those they love. The 90% discount on the masterclass is closing off on the 31st of December. We have some very beautiful commentaries, some really nice feedback, some from Buildy. Great update. Thank you, Ken. The masterclass is brilliant. I've barely started and I'm already learning great eye-openers that I can start practicing and implementing. Fantastic. Kevin said, Ken, the masterclass is great. Even in the first 5 videos I've done, I've changed all my preconception of how a chart should be organized. When you do the masterclass, it will be unlike anything that you've ever seen before. And I'd like to say a special thank you to Via Frequency. Via said, your dedication to educating people and enriching lives is so inspirational. I heard your story on episode 365. What I'm all about as a person is giving back my knowledge. The purpose of the masterclass is to actually transfer my knowledge so you can do what I can do here every day. If you're interested in locking in that 90% off discount, please email me at ken@kenstanfield.com. That's ken@kenstanfield.com. Stanfield has 2 D's in it. Rule 774, master yourself to master the market. A lot of people don't tell you that when you enter any form of financial investment, self-mastery is incredibly important. Even more important is how you focus and how you interpret money. Money is security, but real wealth is far different. Having inner and outer peace, fulfillment and meaning, kindness, authenticity, integrity and decency, these are the things that make life truly worth living. We all go through bad things in the past. It's just a natural point of life. To fight self-sabotage and self-doubt, it's incredibly important to know how worthy you are because of your uniqueness. In fact, you are so unique that nobody's ever had your skills, your outlook, or your focus ever before in history and never will again in the future. That by definition makes you worthy and deserving of kindness, love, meaning, and every success in life. And every success means the enrichment of real wealth and also the foundation of prosperity. Tracking Bitcoin is therefore so important to understand. We can see that there are 2 really major lines in the sand. The first is this downward line here, this support line. Price could effectively come back even into the $30,000 range, and that would not break the bull market. Of course, we don't want it to come back into that particular range, but it could, and it would form a quadruple bottom down here. If that was the case, what is much more likely is if we get a long tail rejection based on patterns that occur in the past, we could get a movement down to around $37,000. If that happens, it happens, and that can be a fantastic way to dollar cost average in. The institutional mindset always thinks simultaneously in 3 different directions and makes in advance probabilistic choices. What if the market goes down? What if it goes up? What if it goes sideways? Having answers to all those questions and knowing what you will do ahead of time will save so much anxiety and so many sleepless nights. Also, it's important to actually see how price is moving. It is very normal for retail investors to want price to fit their narrative. If they want price to go up, they see all sorts of signs that price could go up. The truth is, at any particular stage, price is always moving in a wave. Rule 4. So in that case, price can go upwards or downwards or even horizontally, and it's just a natural part of the market cycle. We can see price is being held really well across that support line. Price is not getting through the I don't know what I'm doing zone at the moment, but it is consolidating along. We have potential red targets all the way down. I'll just move this up a little bit to the 37,332 mark. This is potentially where price could go if it follows past price behavior, but that's no guarantee. What we need to do is keep our eye on price and what price is doing, not what we think price should be doing. We have to be really open and flexible. What do we actually see here? We always trade the chart that we view. We can see price consolidating along support. What do we also see? The upwards resistance line here is getting closer and closer to price. If price manages to break through and trade into the green zone, that's fantastic. That looks like Bitcoin will start to then attack the next resistance line. And when it does that, the next and the next. These are the things that you want to keep in your mind all the time. What happens with retail investing is that people get only one choice made. It must go up. It's almost like people are relying on it to go up, so therefore it must. One of the problems is crypto and financial markets thrive on uncertainty. When you get deep sell-offs, that is the time to get in. And when you get big bounces, that is the time to not get in. It's a counterintuitive thing. For example, when this long tail rejection occurred, I was saying to the community, let's get in everyone, this is fantastic. And this bounce from here to here was very substantial in numerous different alts. The good thing to understand, traders are always taking profit. You can allocate a certain percentage of your portfolio to trading. If you're a long-term investor, there are many good things about it, including getting more tied in to when to buy and when to sell. And rule 138, all investors become traders every time they buy or sell. Being and having a trading mindset is critical if you are predominantly an investor. So let's have a deeper look at what is happening today. What have we seen? The Bank of England is bashing crypto again. Is it bringing out a central bank digital currency? Probably. It's always the way the countries go. Senator Elizabeth Warren is at it again with DeFi. She doesn't like DeFi. She wants to protect her loving banks. NYDIG is seeking to create the Amazon Web Services of Bitcoin. It's a very interesting thing. We'll look at that a little bit later. The debt ceiling was funded. Elon's at it again. And Doge, you might have heard, has been rallying because Elon wants merchandise to be bought with Doge. Wow. We also have a number of other consistent issues. Mt. Gox, which we discussed in episode 332, Omicron, tapering and inflation, which was discussed in episode 353. We'll have a look at the transportation sectors. We'll have a look at gold and see if the Russian troops are causing any concerns globally. We also have the India issue. Let's see how the Indian markets are reacting. The debt ceiling, that's got basically a tick on it now, so that's been removed as an issue. We'll also have a look at Evergrande, and we can see the price of Bitcoin has really respected this downward support line. It got down, for example, to about 46,587 and has bounced really nicely. Of course, we also understand that it's coming into two levels of resistance above at 49,032, but when it gets above this 49,305, that's a bit of clean air. It can start going and start attacking the 55,590 mark. Always remember rule 112, markets profit in uncertainty. And rule 114 is just as important. If you feel absolutely certain of something, know that the markets will penalize certainty. All I believe that is happening now is the shorts are being called into the market. When shorts get liquidated, they have to buy to cover their positions. That causes enormous upward momentum on price that can break through significant resistance. There is a lot of resistance around the 70,000 mark. We should also expect resistance around this $58,000 level. Such a big deal was made about Mt. Gox. Look at the reserves. They haven't changed one bit. Turning to Omicron, yesterday the confirmed figures were about 11,718 and the probable cases around 77,991. We've seen not much of a move in probable, but there has been an increase in the confirmed cases. We can see currently the top countries impacted by Omicron are the UK, Denmark, Norway. South Africa, we're not seeing any increases in the stats at the moment. The US is just starting, Canada and France, Netherlands. Our thoughts are of course with everyone. Just looking quickly at what Elon is up to, he's always up to some kind of mischief. Tesla will allow people to buy some of its branded products using the cryptocurrency Dogecoin. Well done, Elon. Turning to the Wall Street Journal, the Senate has approved an increase in the debt ceiling. Basically, the Senate passed the measure. The vote was 50 to 49. They just eked in there. The real bottom line of this article, I'll save you all the reading, it's just raising the debt limit by $2.5 trillion rather than a much larger increase that would allow lawmakers to avoid the issue for years. Of course, this issue hasn't gone away yet. There's some degree of market uncertainty because of the Fed's potential tapering. What we see here is that Mr. Powell has figured out that inflation is maybe not so transitory, but he's not sure. So the concept is that they may actually quicken the tapering process and more likely end it by March instead of June. But we'll know on Wednesday. The interesting thing with interest rates is that there's actually no correlation between stock market returns and interest rates. People think if interest rates increase, the stock market needs to go down. No such simplistic, basic rule ever exists in any of the markets. Please be aware of that. This is quite interesting. Looking into the Indian market for Bitcoin, we see a bit of a sell-off here, and we know that there's been a sell-off, but there has also been a recovery. This might be pointing to something. We'll have to keep our eye on the Indian market. I know a lot of our community is from India. If you would be kind enough to reach out to me by email or direct message me on Twitter and just give me some on-the-ground intel and information, I'd really appreciate it. We've got so many beautiful people inside our community that share information and they want the community to prosper. It's really lovely. I developed KS Zone analysis to help people understand where in the cycle they are. These are the 4 stages that all investors and traders progress through to become consistently profitable and attain real wealth. Zones 1 and 2 are all about panic, internal conflict, blame external conflict. They have the foundation in certainty. There is no certainty in financial markets, any of them, especially Bitcoin and crypto. This addiction to certainty actually terrorizes people into the point that they can't sleep at night. If you can get out as quickly as possible from zone 1 and zone 2 into zone 3, that will be a blessing already in terms of your health and in terms of not suffering stress. When we look at zone 3, it's all based on probabilistic fearlessness. It's having three-way decision making, doing things that normal retail investors and traders do not do, and having the perspective of an institution of one. That is what our channel, our community is all about, and that's what I teach inside the masterclass. It's all about probability, rules, patience, and a lot of forgiveness, of course. And that forgiveness is not for other people. It's just for you to understand you need to forgive yourself, because you cannot pick the lotto numbers for the next draw. If you could, you'd be the richest person on the planet. All we can do is run the numbers and do the probabilities. When people in zone 1 and zone 2 feel negative news hitting the market, they feel all the positivity is over, and they suffer what's called the light switch effect. They have fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and they go all out. It's literally like switching the light off. And when they see something positive enter the market, they go all in, and which is FOMO. You don't want to FUD and you don't want to FOMO. Getting out of zone 1 and zone 2 is really important. Probabilistic fearlessness is all about scaling in, especially the redder the better. It's so important to actually buy at very good prices. You want to act like a shopkeeper. It's all about running the numbers and probabilities. I had to just let you know that because the China property market looks like it's on the way down, but this can be a great advantage to crypto. Let's just drill in here to this current price action. Just remember, Evergrande is this blue line. You can see Evergrande's share price just coming down like a brick, and all the other property market, the property companies are joining it. This is particularly concerning, but do not panic and do not light switch. The truth is that the institutional money, smart money mindset actually looks for these kind of opportunities, not to invest in these particular companies. If it's dropping like a brick, it could go to zero. Don't touch them unless you're shorting. And if you're, of course, using any form of leverage, you must already be in zone 3. If anyone uses leverage, borrowing, shorting, or anything like that in zone 1 or zone 2, you'll probably lose all your money. Please don't do that. Don't get sucked in to what influencers say when they want to shill their particular links to leverage trading sites. So what do we see here? Mt. Gox, it's a non-event. Nothing is happening. Omicron is spreading. What do we see with inflation and tapering? Well, let's have a little bit more of a look. Looking at forward inflation expectations, the 5-year and the 10-year are coming down. And looking at the transportation indexes, we can see airlines coming down and also a number of the others, but there has been quite a bounce and they're just retracing. We'll just keep our eye on things. It's pretty much normal price movement. We'll need to wait till later on in the week to find out what's happening there, but inflation's already on its way down from an expectations perspective. When we look at India, there's potential warning signs in the Bitcoin rupee pair. We need to keep our eye on this. As I was mentioning before, if anybody can provide more information from the community, please just reach out and directly contact me. The next thing we need to do is to see how the markets are going. We know compared to crypto, the stock market and the bond market globally are giants. Crypto is like a little baby. When stocks get overheated, the bond market sees an inflow of money, which forces bond prices up. When it goes the other way, the bond prices come down and the yields go up. When we see more speculation inside the economy, crypto goes up. When we look at investment substitutability, the S&P 500, the proxy for stocks, is up 26% for the past year. Gold is going down. This is really good. This means that war, or the prospect of war, is not being taken seriously. There's a lot of posturing between countries. It happens all the time. But gold is not registering anything, and nor is Bitcoin as well. That's actually good for global stability. Bitcoin is up 137% for the year. Turning to the VIX, the fear gauge of the stock market, we've seen a little bit of an uptick in fear. But is that the end of everything? Does that mean the markets are going to plummet? Not necessarily. Price is always moving in a wave. This is a natural part of price action. Really important to know that. So many people are never told the price moves in a wave, and then when they see price coming down, they bail. When price goes up, they buy, and then it comes down and they sell. They get trapped in the wrong cycle. We can see the Nasdaq 100 rallied up very, very strongly. It's just simply consolidating. That's all it's doing. Like crude oil is bouncing along this downward support. It's being rejected by the resistance above it, now playing in at about 72.62. When we look at the bond prices, and remember the bond prices are important for us to look at, the bond prices are just turning this once resistance to support. There are two levels of resistance above. When bonds take off exponentially up the wall, that's when we think of scaling out. What we see is the yields. Yields are coming down, potentially to retest this support that they once bounced from. We can see gold actually selling off, and that's why it's good to look at investment substitutability. You can see that it's just down easily. It is, however, coming into a level of support where it is right now. And the US dollar currency index, the DXY, or the Dixie, is on its way up. What does all this mean for Bitcoin and crypto? What it means is that we always trade the chart that we view. We never panic. We're not retail, we're professional. We're aware of the risks, and the risks can be very rewarding. That's why there is no reward without risk. There are a number of positive things entering the market. Let's just quickly talk about NYDIG. It just actually raised $1 billion in funding. What is it seeking to do? What is its use case? It's potentially expanding Bitcoin's reach into any industry. You think about that. That is very significant. It's putting infrastructure together to straddle or combine or bridge both the institutional trading realm and consumer users. They're they're saying it parallels the AWS infrastructure in the traditional web space. This is really, really cool. They are on a mission. Oh, it's good to have a mission to embed Bitcoin wallets into everybody's applications. Wow, PayPal, you're in trouble. What do they say? Starting next year, America is going to see Bitcoin showing up everywhere in all kinds of applications. That's the NYDIG business model. So we can see a combination of good and bad news in the market. There always is. That's how the markets always go. They're always good behavior and bad behavior acting out in the market. What do we actually see here? We've passed a level of resistance that came in at 48,681. We hit the resistance level, got pinged back to a support level at around 46,364, and now we're challenging the resistance level at 48,798. What do we expect? Well, anytime you come into resistance, you expect it to either bounce down, which is the higher probability, or to get above and retest it and then consolidate. We'll keep our eye on exactly what happens, but we've got some really good support at 49,305 when it gets there, and it will get there. So let's have a quick look at the top 8 and the 10-5-10 levels. We've not got a fill on the 42,092 yet. This is what professional trading and investing is all about. Of course, you expect the best, but you plan for the worst, and you've got very good and solid strategies for taking advantage of different things. Ethereum 10-5-10 level is 28.32. We can see Binance Coin. It's starting to consolidate around the 500 mark. We can see Sol making its way down to the first 10-5-10 level at 135.94. Cardano 10-5-10 level is getting closer at 108.8. XRP, the 10-5-10 level, is 58.25. When we talk about 10-5-10 levels, they're about capturing long tail rejections, these big long red wicks. It's about buying very, very effectively. DOT, remember DOT was actually trading at about $55. It's come down to $26.16. We may get a long tail wick down to 2047, which is a 10-5-10 level, or 1543. That doesn't mean that DOT will stay there. It means in all probability it will long wick down just to flush out liquidity and then start to repair. We'll just keep our eye on things. We can see Luna nearly down to the 49.62 level, and we've seen a big bounce from around $52 up to 60.26, the current price. Don't forget that you can always layer between 10-5-10 levels and above. Let's have a quick look at the Metaverse. We can see Decentraland, Mana, coming in potentially to grab a 10-5-10 level at 285.73. There's a lower one at 201.83. We can see Axie Infinity, 10-5-10 level, 74.15. Remember, this is all about capturing long tail rejection. 10-5-10 level for Engine Coin is 1849. SLP is kind of something that you would probably best avoid. Unless you're utterly fearless, I would not touch it personally. Sand, a 10-5-10 level at 387.47. Just a thing with what I just said about SLP. When you have an overwhelming negative bias on something, you need to be aware something is cooking under the surface that you cannot see. We saw it recently with ADA. Cardano has been absolutely hammered. There will be a reason. If the reason is ever known by the community and ever known by the public, that's a different thing. But there is a reason. It's like when you look at the Chinese property market, all of those stocks are selling off. There is a reason. There is always a reason. If something is under positive price momentum, that is what you want to get into. Use the volatility as your best friend and seek to ride it up, always using your 10-5-10 levels to grab these long tail rejections along the way. This is purely from a technical standpoint, and I hold to it with Alice as well. When you look at these particular projects, when they repair, when they get themselves underway and get really strong, you would expect relative performance similar to the leaders. If you're not seeing it, beware. ILV, the 10-5-10 level, is 984.20. It's really interesting, isn't it? When you consider ILV was trading around 1920 and is $1,120 right now. That is a very substantial reduction. What normal traders and normal investors do, and that's just retail, what retail investors and traders do, when the price is going up, buy a lot, they buy. And when the price comes down, they feel that they've got it wrong and they start to sell. Whenever you buy, think who you're buying from. Whenever you sell, think who you are selling to. It's really, really important. Just on the concept of ILV, we saw a near 30% reduction here and over 40% reduction normal in this particular price segment of current price action. This is crypto, and this is what you need to know. Turning to CHR, we can see at its lowest, it actually sold off 68%. This volatility terrifies Zone 1 and Zone 2 traders and investors, and rightly so, absolutely, because it takes a lot of time to understand the rules of crypto, and there are many. And that's what I share in the masterclass, a very deep dive of all of these things. What people also can understand, when you make volatility your best friend, you are expecting this, and you're the one who will be buying when other people are selling. And by the time it turns around, you have bought really, really well. Not necessarily at the bottom. It's also very important to get rid of that concept. Professionals do not care about bottoms or tops. Of course, they seek to detect them, but the problem is that they typically occur after price has moved away. For example, a bottom, you know it's a bottom when price has moved up, and a lot of retail investors and traders say, why didn't I buy it there? I always say, if you can pick the lotto numbers for the next draw, you should be able to say, why didn't I buy it there? But nobody can do that. You can only run the numbers. And please be very kind to yourself. You can see the power of Rule 4. Price moves in waves. It's always moving in a wave. I'd like to thank all the very kind and generous community members who reached out and bought me a coffee on buymeacoffee.com/CryptoTradingKS. Thanks so much, everyone. I'd especially like to thank Badger and your very nice comment, my friend. Hi Ken, I just wanted to thank you for the incredible masterclass discount. The absolute best bargain ever. I would have given my last Bitcoin for this knowledge because I know I would make it back in spades using your methods. Thank you, my friend. This information is just simply not found anywhere. Now I know what excellence in TA looks like. Thank you, Ken. You're a true master and a legend. Cheers, KS family. Thanks so much, Badger, for your very kind words. The masterclass is basically all about transferring my knowledge that I've gained over more than 3 decades in financial markets. Of course, coming from an inventor's background, I have a very different way of looking at the market. You won't see rehashed candlestick patterns and things like that. I tell you how the actual market works, and I give you insights that exactly what Badger said. They are not found anywhere else. The masterclass is literally a Rolls Royce of masterclasses. It's pre-recorded videos that you can go back and look at for the next 4 years. I will continuously update those videos to make sure the content remains current and there's no additional charge in that. Thank you, Beardy, for your very nice comment. Ken assumes no previous knowledge and he's made his money's worth after the first video. Good on you, my friend. Gabscar, awesome TA. The masterclass is a bargain. Thank you. Fishfold, sharing your knowledge with the world with so much enthusiasm and openness. The reason that I'm codifying all of my background is that I went through a wide variety of health concerns, and I just wanted to make sure that I could pass on my knowledge that could benefit others. If you would like the 90% off discount for the masterclass, I just want to let you know that that ends on the 31st of December. You can just, if you would like that, you can just reach out and email me at ken@kenstanfield.com. Stanfield has 2 Ds. Self-sabotage and self-doubt are the greatest enemies of your profitability inside any market. I've seen so many people defeat themselves without ever placing a buy or a sell order. If you think you're going to fail, you need to rewire your mind. You deserve success, you deserve kindness, you deserve love, you deserve meaning. All of these things are your birthright. And of course, we should all live life from a kindness and gratitude perspective, seeking real wealth, and we know real wealth is much more than just money. I hope you found the content useful. Please consider sharing and liking this video if you think it will help others. Thank you very much to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers. Please say hi and let me know what your questions are and where you're viewing from. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. I've left helpful links in the description of this video. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, my friends. Take care and see you next time.